Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. So excited to go over this topic about AI. Not only am I just moderating, I'm actually here to learn. So I'm super excited. So I'm Nicole Russell. I am the Chief Training Officer for Repairs First Association. And we are so glad to be here with RepairLift hosting this topic. And so I'm going to pass this over to my business partner, Brian, this way, and let him give a little rundown of who RFA is. And then we're going to get right into this great topic about AI.
Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate that. Looking at some names on here, I recognize a lot of members of the RFA. So just wanted a quick introduction. My name is Brian Ahern. I'm one of the founders of the Repairs First Association. Um, and in short, we provide a franchise level support mechanism, but without the franchise fees. We have 56 different programs if you choose to take advantage of them. And one of our long-term vendor members, I've known this guy. I tell this story. I've known him since he was slinging parts at a place up in Canada many years ago. His name is Corey, and then he started a company called RepairLift, and he was one of the first vendors of the association to provide valuable input, feedback, as well as services for the industry. And very happy to have him as one of the longest tenure vendors of the RFA. And with that, Corey, take it away, man. The floor is yours.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, thanks a lot for having us here today. So what I'm going to kind of do here is I'll go through a bit of an intro. We have a cool presentation today, and I'll go through all the topics. Before we do, I think, a lot of the people on here we know personally. For the ones that we don't, my name's Corey. I am the CEO of RepairLift, one of the co-founders. We're a marketing agency who's been strictly servicing repair shops for the last 6 years. So before that, I had spent a number of years working, as Brian mentioned, in a parts wholesaling company, helping shops secure direct supply lines to China. I'd done roughly $20 million in part sales before moving on to the marketing space. And it's funny because Matt was actually a client of mine. He was what we'd called a whale at the time. He had 9 locations. He was buying tons of parts from us every week. And this was back when it was just straight wire transfer, right? Wire transfer to China. So um, Wild
Remember those
West
days.
days. But anyway, we ended up coming together and saying, hey, look, there's a huge need here in the repair industry for people who need to outsource crucial customer acquisition systems like lead generation, website help, etc. And then, yeah, from there, RepairLift was born, and that was 6 years ago. And that's kind of my origin story here. So I'll hand it over to Matt now, and he can share some background about himself, and then we can get started.
Yeah, as Corey alluded to, I owned a chain of computer phone repair stores called Computer Repair Doctor. Grew to 9 locations on the East Coast in multiple states. Did that for a while before I exited. Then I partnered up with Corey, co-founded RepairLift, and now I'm focusing primarily on the AI solution that RepairLift has to offer.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Okay, so what we're going to cover today is the basics of AI. There's probably some people on here who are using AI today. There's probably some people on here who have never used AI. So we're going to kind of cover the basics so that everyone's on the same page. We're going to talk about different ways AI can be used in customer service and business administration. We're going to cover how AI can cut certain departmental operating costs by over 90%. And then we're going to get into a couple of live demos where we can show you how to set up your own AI system. And then we can talk about some existing AI programs built for repair shops. So before I move on, Nicole, are there any questions about that I should be addressing?
No, no one has commented any questions. I do want to remind everyone, if you look in the chat, I am sending messages. Put any of your questions, even if it's just a thought that you don't want to forget to talk about or bring up, put it in there. We're going to make sure to keep up with everything here and let them kind of move along with everything that they have to show you. But we definitely would get to all of your thoughts and questions. So make sure to type it in there.
Cool. All right. So let me just go here. Okay, so I know, as I mentioned, many of you probably already know a little or more about AI. I just want to kind of catch people up. So just from a high level, what is AI? Okay, AI is artificial intelligence. and it's the ability of machines to mimic human intelligence by learning, reasoning, and solving problems to perform tasks that typically require human thinking. Okay, this is very important because it enables machines to not just follow pre-programmed rules. Like if you think about all the tech we've previously used before that, you give, your software a set of rules and it always follows the same thing. But now, you're able to adapt. It's able to make decisions on its own, allowing for automation of complex tasks, personalized experiences, and solutions to problems previously thought unsolvable. Okay. So what does this really mean for you as a small business? I like to say that AI is the great equalizer in regards to competition between SMBs and larger companies. Okay. So if you think about this, before you would need to pay tens of thousands of dollars for customer support teams, development teams, BDR teams, analytics teams, right? And what would happen is that, the big businesses would all buy that stuff. They'd all pay for that stuff. They'd run things well, they'd run things smoothly. And the smaller companies would have to kind of pick and choose, hey, we're going to do this, but we can't afford this. And that's still obviously always the battle that SMBs face. But AI is becoming a great equalizer. Now you're able to build a system from the top where maybe you just need one BDR person, one CSR person, and then you can set up an infinite supply of AI helpers to actually do a lot of that work at scale for little to no cost, right? So before I move on, does that make sense, or does anybody have questions about that? No?
Looking good. No questions yet.
Okay. Cool. So let's talk a little bit about some of the use cases that you can use for AI. So customer experience is obviously, front and center right now. It's the most, easy to kind of piece together. We're talking about appointment scheduling, 24/7 review management, etc. Right? You got operational efficiency, right? Workflow optimization, inventory management. There's a couple of people on here from the POS space and those companies. This is going to be really important for them over time as well. They're going to be able to automate a lot of these things that you guys are doing operationally, and that's going to be very impactful. Pricing optimization is something else that's very important. And then other things too, like employee productivity, training, task management. Okay, so these are kind of high level things of how AI can be used. More specifically, how are we using it today with repair shops? So obviously as a marketing agency, customer experience was and still is a focal point of what we're using AI to automate. Okay, initially, we just wanted to build this tool to make our marketing campaigns more effective, right? After marketing for hundreds of repair shops, like we've generated millions of leads in this space. Okay, more than half the leads that we generate to repair shops go unanswered. Okay, like I'm not kidding. It's mind-blowing, and it's also true. More than half the leads that get generated to most repair shops do not get responded to. Right? This is a bigger problem when you're paying for ads, because you're actually paying for these leads and then they sit there and people either don't respond to them at all, or they don't respond to them, for hours or days to the point where that lead has now gone cold. Okay, so that's kind of where, we said, hey, what's the lowest hanging fruit that we can improve marketing campaigns? Well, let's just respond to the leads that get generated. Okay, so as we've installed these programs, though, we've kind of realized that our AI department is redefining a lot of what we do, and we see significant other opportunities to implement AI into different parts of our clients' businesses. Okay, so a really, really good one that we're, working on right now, and, which exists in our program, is functionality that enables employee training. Okay, specifically around sales and customer service training. Okay. Pricing optimization is another huge one. And I'm actually going to jump into a bonus slide in just a sec where I'm going to show you the 5 factors that you need to take into consideration if you want to convert your leads into customers. Okay. But the truth is, and a lot of people don't want to, they don't want to talk about this, but the wireless industry is largely commoditized, right? In many areas, there's hundreds of, vendors, be it carrier stores, repair shops, everything. And after reviewing thousands of conversations, because we have our AI program, right? So we're talking to thousands of customers on behalf of our clients every single day, right? And we audit those conversations. And one of the biggest things we look for is, hey, how can we help these guys close more, right? And these are kind of the 5 things that we've landed on. So the first one is trust. Okay. Another one that is not, people don't like to speak about is being able to speak in the native language of the country you're serving. This is very important. Okay. I was just telling Brian, I spend a lot of my time living in a Spanish speaking country. My Spanish is not very good. Okay. If I was going to open a repair shop here, I would not be answering the phone. Okay. That's the basic. We got to be able to communicate very clearly with our customers. The next one is website. When people find you, do they see a professional image, right? Because ultimately what this is all building trust. If you go to somebody's website, they don't have a website, or the website doesn't work, or it doesn't load, right? Do you think that they're going to be like, oh, let me find another way to contact this person? Or do you think they're going to hit the back button and find somebody else whose website loads, right? I think the answer is obvious. Okay, recent reviews, right? Are we asking people, are we getting recent reviews? This is another thing AI can help with, getting reviews, responding to reviews, right? One of the biggest SEO ranking signals is review velocity. How fast are you getting reviews? Okay, I'm actually going to roll out a product alongside one of our clients very shortly. I'm hoping to do it next week. We found a review automation workflow that we built that generated his 3 stores over 100 reviews in the month of November. Okay, it's ridiculous. It's insane. That does a lot, not only for trust, but also for ranking. Okay. So that's the first one, trust, right? It's basic, trust. The next one is responsiveness. Are we responsive to our prospects, or do they never hear back from us? Right. And believe it or not, it sounds so simple, but these are 2 factors that you could probably work on immediately. And if you for example, if you don't have a website and you're not answering your leads, if you just do those 2 things, you're probably going to double your business, maybe more. You know what I mean? That's the lowest hanging fruit. So obviously the AI really helps us with the responsiveness because it's consistent, right? It's fast, and it's always doing the thing that you probably don't have time to do. And then after that, we have speed of service, of course. Do you have parts, and are you open? Right? That's actually the biggest one, right? Obviously, assuming you have a website and you're trustworthy and you're responding to your leads. Do you have parts? Can you do the service? Or do I have to wait for you to order the part and then wait a week and now I don't have a computer for a week? Right? That's a huge one. Usually that outweighs price. The next one is pricing. Okay. As I mentioned, we've analyzed this so many different times in so many different markets. If you're in a competitive market, you got to be competitively priced. Okay. It's just that simple. If other people are charging $120 for something you're charging $200 for, you're just going to lose a lot of those. So you got to find ways to be competitively priced and try to make some money on the back end. And then obviously location, right? People are going to want to go somewhere closer. So this is just a bit of a bonus. AI is not too related to AI, but it does kind of factor into how we program these bots and stuff like that. Does that make sense, or are there questions about that? All good? Okay. So there's a couple prerequisites for
We
AI.
had one question, but I think that you may get to some of it. And I think you touched on some of it, but it is kind of specific. Would
Let's
you
see.
like me to say it? It's going to be Heman. Discuss the range of AI bot engagement from inbound quote request to answering phones to outbound Google review request, follow-up calls to selling Akko insurance, for example.
Great question. Okay. When I get into the kind of the different ways that we're implemented and I go through the demo, I'm going to talk about a lot of this stuff. Okay. If I don't, if I forget one of these, Nicole, just ping me and I'll cover it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And yeah, Tony says we've seen stores increase revenue 5 figures monthly. Yeah, it's insane, really, how beneficial it is to just answer these leads. So, okay, prerequisites for AI. What do you need? Well, you need a software platform. Okay. There are many great POS systems out there. However, there's not one system to rule them all yet. Okay. You need a system that has the ability, like DigiRep, which I'll get into in a second, to do a lot of the things that a lot of these point of sale systems do not yet have, right? Obviously, at some point, I'm sure they're developing a lot of these things. You may be able to get them. At what point, I'm not sure, right? But, you know, at the same time, they're very advanced. They're very built out in regards to inventory management, employee tracking, all that kind of stuff. So you could not really do these things without one of those systems. So you need to look at this as you got to have two systems, a marketing system and then your POS system. And what's very important is to wire them together, right? So that they're talking to each other. When something happens here, it's updated in the POS. When it happens here, it's updated there, so that you're not having to duplicate any sort of information input. Okay. So our software that we had built in the past, a lot of you guys have probably seen it, used it, I'll demo it. You know, was this instant quoting tool. Okay. We've tested this tons of times. It just converts better than really any other repair quoting tool that's out there. What I mean by that is if you send 10 visitors to our tool versus 10 visitors to some of these other tools, you'll often find a double in terms of like the people who actually convert into a lead. So I think that's very important. What we then did was we integrated with a system called Go High Level. Okay. A lot of people resell this. Some of you guys have seen it. And when I show you, maybe you'll say, oh, I've seen that. You know, we don't try to pretend like it's our system. You know, we've always been very open that we've integrated with Go High Level. And yeah, I can kind of pass it to Matt here and he can talk a little bit about why we decided to do that and kind of the, you know, API and communication functionality, and then I can kind of take over again.
Yeah, so GoHello has a fantastic platform for automations and APIs. So we wanted to integrate with the best AI solutions that were out there, the best LLMs, specifically OpenAI and some of the other ones that exist. And Go High Level allowed us to communicate with our platform with OpenAI and easily communicate between the two. Corey, I think you're gonna do a demo in a minute and then discuss kind of what we found and took it from there. So I can probably give some more points then.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So we need communication functionality. That's a big one. And then we need so essentially what I mean by that is like the bot, we can teach the bot, hey, answer these people, but the bot actually needs the tools to be able to message them on Facebook, message them through SMS, right? Do all these kind of things. And that's where the software comes in. Everybody on this call, okay, if you're not already using DigiRep, you can just reach out to Nicole or Brian after this, and we're going to give you guys free access to the software. We'll give you, I don't know, should I do a 60-day free trial? Does that work,
That sounds
Nicole?
great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
and if you're a member or whatever, we'll get you taken care of. So I'm going to put the email in the bottom here for Brian.
yeah. Yeah, so reach out to Nicole. I'll give you guys a couple of free months here because the demo that I'm going to show you is how you build the bot. Like you're going to need
Members
something to
get
build
a
the bot on.
60 days use for free, but there's a benefit from RepairLift. I don't have it memorized. I can look it up really quickly.
Yeah, so I can specify that. So on the software, the repairs first people get a free trial. Chris, I'm answering your question now. It's an $89 a month software. Any sort of like managed services that repair shops use us for also come with, I think it's $100 a month discount off any package. So that's the additional discount there. But yeah, so the other thing that's very important. So, okay, software is a prerequisite. Chris, all right, Chris, I'm going to answer all these questions, and I think you're going to see a lot of them in the demo. Okay, but if I don't, feel free to ask me after I show you. The final prerequisite here is in terms of mindset. Okay, we're working with cutting edge technology. All right, this stuff is brand new. It's very powerful, right? But you need to be like understanding that you're working alongside something. That's our biggest challenge. How do we as humans work alongside AI here? Because though one day it'll probably get to a point where it needs no input and then probably doesn't need us for anything, and then maybe it owns all the businesses, right? But until then, we have to figure out how to kind of work alongside it. And what does that mean? That means you have to be available to train it. You got to understand it's going to make mistakes sometimes. And you just got to be adaptable and be able to work with it. Very similar to how you would train an employee, right? You would never just say, hey, this is your job, boom. And then they just sit there and are perfect at their job with little to no input. Okay. You will have to work alongside this stuff. So I'm going to jump into the demo now. Does anybody have any questions before I do that? No?
No. And I'm going to put steps on how to access the benefits. Super, super easy. I'm going to type those in there. If you're already an RFA member, you can literally go to the portal, log in, and put the form, and it's going to go right over to Corey and his team, and they'll make sure you get all your benefits. So don't wait for that. So let me go ahead and put the steps in here.
Okay, I lost my tab here. So let me just find it. And then I'll do this demo. Where is that? Okay, it's full screen. That's exit this, escape. Okay. So let's
Okay, I
go
just
to
posted the steps. So if you are not sure how to use if you're not sure how to use the platform to access your benefits, which I hope all of you would be. I accidentally sent that directly to someone.
Okay. So, some of you guys, like, I'll show you how we generally kick off our repair tool, right? So like when people come to our website and they ask for a repair, just kind of as a, you know, overview, essentially what we're doing here is we're connecting every entry point on the website that a customer can communicate with you through into a single backend, and then we've hooked a bot up on the bottom to respond to those. Okay, so this is how we capture the repair leads. So they'll choose their device. We have new devices updated automatically. They can choose their issue, one or more. We can choose our location. Okay. And then what we're going to do is go here. We have our opt-in language. This is important, especially if you use something like a Ring Central. This is all becoming very important these days. You need to be getting people's consent properly, or you're not going to be able to use these systems to reach out to them. Okay. And voila. So this is how people come into the system. Anywhere they come in. Okay. So let's say they come through a contact us form, right? This is coming from high level, this contact us form. Buy a device, sell a device, any of these forms, anyone submits it, it's going to instantly drop into this backend. Okay, so here's what our backend is looking like. Okay, so obviously this is a demo here. Okay, but what just happened is we passed this into this system, that lead. Okay, the bot has instantly responded. Okay, when people are not using a bot and they're just using DigiRep, this is all pre-templated stuff. It's just an automated message that goes out. Once you set up a bot, the bot actually replaces that automated message with something personalized depending on what came in. Okay, so essentially what you're looking at right here is you're looking at a centralized inbox. So your Facebook messages go in here, your Instagram messages, your SMS, your email, right? When you build this out properly, what you should be doing to get the business intelligence that you need is you should set up tracking numbers for your marketing, right? This number comes through here so I can listen to the calls. So I know how many calls came from Google ads, how many came organically, how many came from this Facebook ad campaign. Not only how many calls, which calls? What did this guy do? Did he come in and pay us? Or is he, did he just go off into the void somewhere? Right? And that gives us a lot of intelligence. Why? Because we can start to figure out, just aside from AI, we can figure out, hey, where are we getting good leads from? How's our sales team converting, right? Of course, we can listen to calls through here, transcribe calls, do all that kind of stuff. How are they converting? And, where is their opportunity where maybe something isn't working and we can slash that, advertising campaign. Maybe it's just providing junk leads. Or where can we scale this? Hey, we're getting a lot of good customers from this. Can we spend more money here? Right? And that's kind of the objective of this whole thing. So this is the plumbing. All right, guys, getting everything into one system. What the bot is now going to do is the bot is going to do the actual work. Okay, now it's going to be your employee and take over. Okay, someone's just reached out to you. We've got it in a place where the bot can see it. Boom, now it's going to get after it. All right. So inside high level, okay, and just so you guys know, you guys can sign up with Go High Level directly. You don't need DigiRep. I think it's a better idea to use DigiRep. Why? Because when you buy it through us, it's 89 bucks a month versus 97 from them. So it's cheaper. Also, you get, like I mentioned, the quoting tool, and you get other customizations built specifically for your repair business that are not going to be there, or maybe they will be there, but you'll have to build them. Okay, so that's the benefit, but you don't need to use DigiRep. If you're already using Go High Level, or you go sign up there, you can do it, on your own. So let's go into conversational AI. This is the built-in bot. Okay, this is free to use. You do have to pay usage, of course, but that's going to be with any AI, whether you use OpenAI or whatever. But it's minor. It's really not a lot of money. And now you're going to be able to set up a totally free 24/7 customer service agent that's going to be able to respond to all your messages. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to put in here my website. Okay, so my store, thephonelink.com is no longer my store. I sold it. Great web presence though. You guys can look it up. It ranks #1 in Toronto, which is a major city. I think there's like almost 1,000 reviews. So look, so now it's just read this link and it's read everything on the website. So it has some basic context about our business. Okay. Now let's talk about configuring what's going on. So essentially what this allows you to do is control this bot with a prompt. Okay. If anyone has used ChatGPT or OpenAI for anything, you understand like what the prompt is. The better the prompt input, the better the output you're going to get. Okay. So out of the box, here's what this says. You're a bot for, variable AI business name, which would be AI chatbot demo up here. Task to assist customers. Your primary goal is to build trust and help the customers. You cannot help with appointments, booking, etc. Your goal is to assist with their queries, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So this is default. So let's try that out. So I come in here, default bot. Hey, is this the phone link? Hey, yes, this is the phone link. We can help with used devices, trade-ins. Okay, just that simple configuration has now taught this bot that all the basic services you guys offer. Okay, pretty cool, right? But out of the box, it's not going to be good. I got a broken iPhone. Can I make an appointment? Okay. It's telling us I can't help with appointments, but you could check our repair section and the wiki for guidance, whatever. Okay. This is
Hey,
like super basic. Yeah, go ahead.
Corey, maybe it's just my screen. Are you able to make that bigger? Because I'm struggling just reading what you're typing in there.
Absolutely. Let me do that. Thank you for that, Brian.
No worries.
Is that better?
Much. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
I go grab it and then you print out the tag. Tag.
Oh, I think we got to mute somebody. Okay, anyway, I'll continue. So look, out of the box here, the bots are not really going to be that good. You need to train them. And just some basic prompting is going to go a very long
Got
way.
it. It took me a minute. Got it.
All good. Can you still hear me and see my screen? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So basic improvements to prompts will make this go a very long way. Okay, so we can say this. You can help scheduling repair appointments, appointments for people to buy devices, and appointments for people to sell devices. Okay. If you wanted, for example, you could list your repair pricing in here if you wanted to. Okay. This is kind of one of the limitations, and we'll get into of how that accesses and stuff, but you could put iPhone X screen repair is $90. You could say iPhone turnaround times are 10-minute repairs. Okay, but obviously you know, we're just going to test this and see. So lifetime warranty on all repair types. You can say, you know, a price is there. You can say, I mean, honestly, like this can just go on and on and on. And there's just millions of different scenarios that you can and should program in. Of course, like we want to try to categorize things if you're going to try to prompt engineer this. But this is just like, you know, giving you a super basic, you know, overview of how you can do this. I'm not going to sit here and, you know, program a bot all day. But you're probably going to want to do things like hours of operations, types of devices you service, services you offer, turnaround times for services, you know, 10 minutes, iPhone repair. Okay, you're going to want to talk about, you know, if an existing customer messages you, follow this process, right? You're going to want to go through all these things and you're going to want to give it some basic training. Think like this, okay? If you have SOPs, this is fantastic. You have an SOP for customer service, you can copy and paste a lot of that in here, saving you tons of time, right? You're not going to have to craft this off the top of your head. I hope that you know, have some sort of documented SOPs, but I know small businesses, many don't, right? But essentially that's what you're doing. You're putting this in here. You're prompt engineering this bot to understand kind of what's going on. Okay. Then we want to say, okay, appointment booking, pick a calendar. So this is one of the calendars that's set up, in-store appointment. Inside Go High Level, we have a calendar function. Okay. So what that means is that it can read the calendar. You could integrate that with your Google Calendar so that it's crossed off times you're not available or whatever, or you could just use it as your main calendar. And you can create different appointment types, in-store appointment, on-site appointment, trade-in appointment, whatever you want to do. You can really kind of get as creative as you want. Okay, we can tell it, don't book the appointment, just share the booking link for this appointment so people do it. Or you could say, book the appointment, right? We can also say, pause bot after booking. Okay, trigger workflow after booking. Let's say we wanted to say, hey, right? So we have an automation feature here where essentially what that means is anything that is available, and this is what makes this powerful, so insanely powerful, is if I want to say, okay, a contact exists here. As soon as that contact is created, automatically, you know, add them to this list that kicks off this email blast at, you know, X amount of days after they've been added, right? And we can automate so much just by those easy drag and drop workflows, right? Here we can ask the bot, hey, after an appointment is booked, kick off workflow X if you want, okay? So this is really cool because I'm going to save this now. We're going to go back to the bot trial, okay? We're going to literally say the same thing. Actually, wait, let's do one more thing. Let's just say edit. How do I edit this? Okay, process to follow. Process to follow when someone asks for a repair. Confirmed device model. Example, if it's iPhone, which iPhone is it? Confirm issue with device. Offer price and appointment. Never offer a price without asking for an appointment afterwards. Okay, so let's just give this a basic flow. Okay, we'll head back to the bot trial. I have a broken iPhone. Hey there, what's the model of your iPhone and what's specifically broken? I can help with repair pricing and set up a quick appointment. You see that, guys? Like just some basic prompt engineering
That's
is going to
awesome.
make this so much better, right? Now, it depends on where you're at with your business. Maybe you're not answering any leads right now and just saying, hey, I'm going to set this up super basic. I'm going to tell it, hey, don't give any pricing, don't book anything after hours, etc. Just, you know, you're here to respond to people and let them know if they need specific information, call us for fast support, or you can come in anytime. Like you could set up a bot to basically do that for you, manage your stuff within 5 to 10 minutes, just like we just did right here.
There's some
Okay.
questions, Corey, and I'm not sure. if, because they were kind of asked, Chris had asked a question, wait, so if I have GHL, we can just build the AI into it? I'm not sure if you responded to that one yet.
Let me get this open. One sec, 'cause
Okay.
I think there was a bunch of them.
There is questions, yeah.
Chat. All right, all right, all right. It's going to make a lot of mistakes, but it's totally worth it. I agree with Chris. The out of the box stuff does make a lot of mistakes, and we're going to talk to some of the other solutions that are available. Chris Groover, I'm down to give AI a shot. This is going to be the best decision you've ever made. I use it alongside my sales team. Sometimes it does dumb stuff, as Chris mentioned, but like it's something we would never go back from. It just does. Like it books so many appointments for my sales reps. Whenever we have a new lead come in, it's instantly talking to them and booking. So that's a great one. And sorry, I gotta hop off. Okay, thanks for coming. What else we got? Would you have to put a price list in AI or could we point it to a list? This is a great question. I do not believe that you can point this to a list using the basic conversational AI bot. Matt, can you answer that question? Do you know?
Yeah, so if you want, I can start to kind of go into why we decided to build our platform instead of use this one.
No, no, I don't want you. I don't want you to do that just yet. I just want to know
Sure.
if do you know
As
off the
far
top
as
of your
I know,
head if
you
we can
cannot
connect
hook
this?
up a price quote to that internal system.
Okay, yeah. So to answer your question, Chris, so the way that it works is there's a number of applications as well that you could download, right? Obviously, they're different paid applications, and some of them have functionality where you might be able to connect. Others have functionality where you might be able to just upload a sheet, and there's different ways you could do it. With this one, unfortunately, it just has the prompt. And this is why I've preached forever that I think if you want advanced customer service, you really want to automate this. Then you do need something a little bit more powerful to do that. So let's see. We work on computers and oh wait, can you have the bot refer to an active spreadsheet? That's the same question. We work on computers and consoles, which prices vary. Yeah, absolutely. Right. So what I would say, Chris, is when you have this process in your head, how do you deal with a customer in person? If I come to you and say, hey, I got a computer, how much does it cost to fix? What process do you follow? Right. And you can put that and you can train these bots to follow those processes. Right. And it may be price varies, man. Sorry, I don't know the price. It varies. I got to see I got to, whatever way you would deal with it is the same way you would program it into here. Yes, the instant quote tools linked to AI. And then the last one was the trial of CRM or the instant quote tool. I have an instant quote, but I also have no price on my instant quote. It just sends me an email. Yeah. So honestly, Chris, I think what we should probably do after this is like maybe, schedule a call and we go through some of this stuff a little bit more, intimately. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we'll go through all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so look, guys, as you can see with some basic prompting, now we have the bot, following a good little script here, offering a price, asking to set up an appointment. Let's just say I say yes, Monday, 10 a.m. What's it going to tell me? Perfect. I've booked you for Monday at 10 a.m. And then if you were to go into your calendar, you would see it there. Of course, this is a trial, so that's not going to happen, right? But that's what would happen if this happened in real life. Okay. So, I'm going to pass this over to Matt in just a second. Before I do, does anybody have any questions about conversational AI, DigiRep, Go High Level, or anything else that we covered? No? Okay.
Might want to remind everybody you are currently muted, so if you're trying to speak, we're not able to hear you.
Yeah, I forgot I was muted too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris, did you want to unmute yourself to ask a question?
Yeah, maybe talk a little more in detail.
Okay, he's trying to. Nicole, can you unmute Chris Gruber? He
He's
might be on the
unmuted.
phone. Okay, go ahead, Chris.
I think he's having mic issues. That's what he means from trying.
Oh, privacy
Privacy
settings.
settings.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Corey probably has a bot for that.
So Chris muted me. I'll get back with you and we kind of touch on those a little bit after. So now Matt here, obviously, you know, he's a technical guy. I tend to oversimplify things. So when I had initially came to him a little over a year ago, it was November 6th of 2023. I came to you, Matt, and I said, hey, look, man, we can roll out these AI bots for people. It's cheap, it's easy, you know, it's going to automate everything. It's going to be super simple. We're going to make $1 million in like a week. You know, help me kind of roll this out. And you know, you would come to me, you're like, look, I understand that this seems easy and it seems simple, but once you actually get into the details of how this is working in real life, and how it's going to actually help customers, this system is probably not going to hold up if you want to sell this to people, right? You're not going to be able to deliver the value that you're thinking of. And then obviously from that point, we ended up developing our AI program. So can you kind of take over from here and jump into some of the specific areas where you found that these out of the box programs were lacking a little bit, and what made us kind of decide to build out a different system?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Corey just showed you, you get to the cool factor pretty quick with conversational AI, right? It starts to have conversations, it starts to take you through some basic flows. But what it's essentially doing is it's designing a singular static prompt for you. So it's giving the AI system one set of instructions for any possible conversation. As we already mentioned, it's also not hooking up to price sheets and things of that sort. We found very quickly when we want to turn it from a fun new toy into a business employee that is functioning the way that you would expect one to, is we needed more control to be able to accomplish some of those things. I'll go through a few things. Specifically, let's start with price quotes. Price quoting is the number one thing that clients wanted to do, from repair pricing to buyback pricing to inventory pricing. We built a system that allows us to hook up to Google Sheets, pull information in real time, point of sale systems, repair desk, repair queue, repair shopper, buyback systems like Atlas Pricely and Reusely Pricing, so that we can in real time assess the condition of a device, pull prices from those sources. Something like that can't be done if you're using just the built-in. So for us, that was a starting requirement. Another aspect is quality control. That comes down to how it's answering, how it stays on track, how flexible you want to make it with different flows and answering different parts of your business, sample statements that you want it to say, how you want it to respond, etc. When you build that static prompt that Corey was showing you in conversational AI, it can get very complex very quickly if you're trying to plan for every conversation. AI and these LLM systems do a very good job of finishing a conversation and understanding context and looking up data, but they're not terrific at following long instructions. We found very quickly that if we gave them more than 12 bullet points, which if you're trying to plan for every situation is not a lot, if you give it more than 12 bullet points, it just starts to ignore them. It'll respond to the message. It'll look at your instructions like a human would do, and it would say, I don't want to read that. I'm just going to respond to this message. That was very difficult to control until we did things like dynamic instructions. So one of the reasons we designed our system and what our system does is instead of providing that static prompt, it provides dynamic instructions based on the context of the flow. So we get a message in, it'll categorize the message into one of three primary flows usually, which is repair, buyback, and device sale. And then it'll go through a series of steps where every step is a different objective, right? Generally speaking, the steps are collect information from the user. Like if it's a repair, you want to collect the device model, the problem, etc. Buyback, you want to collect the condition of the device, the storage size, things like that. So collect information. It can look up information like provide pricing, quote the user, and then follow up with an appointment. So we go through multiple stages and we provide a different objective to the AI agent at each stage, which allows our instructions to stay focused and to stay on track. It also allows us to provide sample information. So if we are at the stage where we are quoting them what devices we have for sale, we can recommend specials. We can do all types of things that get us to very precise control of the AI system.
Can I just hop in
There's
here
a question. Okay.
real quick?
They're asking if it's the so your full AI bot offering is part of the DigiRep subscription, or is it an add-on?
Yeah, great question. So as of right now, and Matt's going to show you this system, we do not have a customer-facing application that you can use right now. That will be coming in the next 90 days or so. And yeah, of course, it'll be like an add-on. It'll probably be a low-cost, monthly software fee. What we offer right now is a managed AI service. Okay, so very similar to how you would hire somebody to run your Google ads or your Facebook ads or do your accounting or something like that. That's the service that we offer right now is we set up these bots, we plug them into your systems like your repair desk, your repair queue so that it knows everything. And then we're there. Obviously, we're always reinvesting into teaching it new things that like we can roll out for everybody. But yeah, just pretty much helping people navigate setting up and managing these bots who are maybe not tech savvy or people who want to spend any time working on these bots. And that's a service that we offer right now. However, as I mentioned, we will be launching a bot app at some point where you can kind of just run it on your own. So I hope that answers the question. I wanted to piggyback off of what Matt had said just there. So first of all, it would be cool if you could share your screen and maybe give people a visualization of how you've been able to break down those those different steps. A really good example that we found early on was, okay, so first of all, everyone has a different sales process. Some people want to send a price as the first message. Other people want to say, hey, is there something else wrong? And then try to book an appointment before giving a price, right? Other people want to offer a price on repairs, but not a price on buybacks, right? So as Matt mentioned, we have different sales flows. Like you're going to handle these differently depending on why someone's reaching out to you. A very big one that has always been important to me, and when I was running my store, when I had helped my friends open their stores, one of my favorite things to do when I'm talking to somebody about a buyback is just asking them what they want for it, right? Because if there's something I'm willing to pay $400 for and they say, yeah, I want $200, that'll make me happy. Hey, that's a great deal for both of us. I'm going to make more money. You're going to get what you want. I'm going to accept that offer. Right. So the problem is that we would have this huge prompt and we'd be like, hey, during the buyback, I need it to actually ask people what they want first. If they have a lower request than what we quote, then accept that deal and book the appointment. If not, and it's higher, then you could tell them what we offer for that device. And that's just one very specific example of why we were like, hey, if we got to be able to create specific sales flows that once the bot hits that part of the flow, it now knows how to think, right? So just like I explained, if you go train an employee, hey, someone wants to sell the phone. Okay, great. Here's what you do, right? You ask them what they want for it. Okay, if they say yes, do this. If no, go to Atlas. Someone's asking, can we train with Atlas? Yes, that comes out of the box. Go look at what Atlas is paying and offer $50 less. That's a very specific thing that needs to be followed at a very specific point of the sales flow. So not trying to ramble here, but I just wanted to clarify, and I hope that helps. But yeah, Matt, maybe you could kind of show your screen and kind of show how you've been able to break down, those processes in the back end.
Sure. Let me find this window. All right, I think I'm sharing.
Yeah, so maybe like under the admin console.
Yeah, so we have an existing admin console here that allows us to control the bot in a number of different ways. As Corey mentioned, we can set up sales flows. We can turn sales flows into steps. Here, part of our admin console that's coming soon. Here's an example of what we're rolling out on the front end soon. Just for a little more visual. So here you provide instructions to your bot. You can set up different flows, like we're talking about the repair flow. You could choose like the repair flow and get the steps, for example. You can create and add different steps, with different goals at each point to kind of clearly see where you want to take the bot through the process. You can have, a no flow found kind of thing. Let's see, you could provide different information at different tiers. So you could provide background and tone to a bot, which it's going to get every time. You can provide flow level instructions, which it's going to get every time it's a repair. And you can provide step instructions. So if you want the bot to know that its name, in this demo is Abby, the bot will know that every time. But if you only want it to know specific information like a hidden discount at a particular stage in the process, you can provide that down here. So this is some of the things that we have. One of the things that I want to touch on is, so we also have like verification bots is what we call them. They're called guardrails. So that has helped us eliminate hallucinations. So one of the other issues that we ran into with the built-in AI systems is that they hallucinate. They make up prices. No matter what we did, they would make up prices. When we implemented our guardrail system, it allows us to essentially double check prices before they're sent out so that we can split the tasks, just like we're splitting up steps. An AI agent needs to follow into multiple steps. We can split up the response step from the verification step, and we can use these guardrails to check on everything that's happening along the way to make sure it's not quoting any incorrect prices. I don't know of any incorrect prices that we've quoted since we've implemented this system.
We haven't.
Yeah.
So one thing I just kind of want to touch on here is, first of all, Muhammad wants everybody to use DN top buyer pricing. I think I know what DN means. I'm not going to say it, but maybe we can talk about integrating with their price sheet as
Yeah,
well.
let's stay on topic. I've had to remove, there's been some links and ads posted in the chat. If you guys are trying to market something, let's keep it on topic to what this is about.
Okay.
But I
So
appreciate it. I
thank,
understand.
gotcha.
I get the hustle, but you know what I mean?
So anyway, one thing that Matt always says, that has really stuck with me over the years is I like simplicity, right? That was one of the biggest things that made the biggest difference when I came into this industry, marketing. All I wanted was, people be able to select their device, select the issue, because I want them to follow simplistic steps. And that worked really well for us. And that's been something that I've always looked for, is simplicity. However, Matt has always said simplicity is great. However, when things are too simple, you often lose flexibility and you lose the ability to do things that you might need to do. And this is the reason why I think managed AI services are very important for people in this industry. Okay. Obviously, we sell this, so you might look at this and be like, oh, this guy's just trying to sell his program. However, I think that the programs exist and they do really well for the reason that if you don't want a bot that's super simple like the one I just showed you, and you do want, something similar to what Matt showed you, we're going to roll out that app, and I already know exactly what's going to happen. You guys saw that app. You see how complex it is. That's going to give you all the functionality that you need to make a bot do pretty much whatever you want, right? As Matt was trying to explain, you don't just have one bot. How you have a bot is you have a number of small bots doing small functions feeding into a big bot, like a little team. You would consider it a bot, right? But that's actually how it's working on the back end. And we're going to give that functionality to people. And I guarantee you what's going to happen is I'm going to get a ton of message. The bot's not working. The bot's not doing this. I set it up perfectly. Boom, boom, boom. And then we're going to go look into it. And it's going to be like, no, step was missed. Boom, 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 boom. So we're going to have to kind of find out, hey, do we train people on this? How much can we train people on this? And then at some point, it's going to be on you. Hey, I want to run my own bots. I got to understand how AI works. Okay, I got to get deep understandings into this, and I got to really understand how to use all this functionality to do it. Or you say, hey, my time's worth a lot more than that. I don't want to spend my time programming bots. I'm going to pay these guys, a super low monthly fee to manage it. Right. And that really is the reason why I think that managed AI services, not just for what we're doing, but you see this happening in other industries as well. is going to be a very important thing that comes into play, because if you don't really get the nuts and bolts of it, just like me, by the way, guys, you know, I'm the CEO of this company and I don't program bots. I sell bots. I work on bots. I say, hey, you know, I'm good at, you know, kind of figuring out how different things could be handled, but I'm not in the back end trying to actually make that work. I'm sending that off to Matt's team and saying, hey, this is what I need. They're programming it, they're testing it, and they're coming back to me, hey, green light, we're good to go on this. You know, and I think that's kind of the difference of what you guys are gonna want to look at when you install these install these bots. So yeah, I think we pretty much covered mostly everything. Matt, I
Awesome.
did kind of cut you off there. Did you have any other last things you needed to mention?
No, I mean, I think if I kept going, I would keep going. So I think we're at time as well. I'll turn it back over to
Yeah, we
Nicole
are.
and see where we want to go.
Yeah,
Cool.
this has been a great call, guys. This is really awesome. I love all the questions. Remember, RFA members do get the $100 off of managed services plus the 60 days free trial. If you want to get that benefit, just visit rfamembers.com, click products, and go down to the RepairLift form. If you're not a member, definitely check us out. And yeah, thank you guys. This has been really super informative. And yeah, I know I'll see you guys at the Gadget Repair Expo, right? So
Yeah.
if anyone on this call, I know RepairLift is going to be there. How can we train bot for voice AI? We got one question that came in.
Oh, that's a really good question.
Is it quick?
I mean, I'll let Matt answer it.
Okay.
Working on it. So it's
Okay.
definitely in progress. It will be coming soon.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we haven't seen the voice bots. Like they're very cool, you know, and they have the cool factor, but we haven't really seen any that are what we feel are ready, you know, to
Mhm.
take on those calls on behalf of your business. But it's definitely something that we hope to roll out soon. And I'm sure in Go High Level, actually think they may be able to roll it out for voice. But you'll
Awesome.
get the same kind of programming as we went through in the demo.
Okay, great. Well, this recording is going to be on YouTube. It's going to be emailed out, and it'll also be on our platform. So if anybody wants to go through this again or wants to rewatch it, they definitely can do that. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Have a great
Thanks.
weekend. A great week.
All right.